My name is John Smucker. I'm a teacher, tree planter, and I'm on a mission. I lead Streamlink Education, and we plant trees along streams with volunteers for our Chesapeake Bay. Trees along these streams have an amazing cleaning ability that's been studied and verified inside and out. A few years ago, I came away with a burning desire to visit as many tree planting nonprofits that I could. This beach is right next to a small community called Nosora, located on the Pacific coast of Costa Rica. It's known for its surfing and laid-back attitude. There's a nonprofit here called Costa Verdes, and they have reforested miles of coastline, having a huge impact on the environment and the communities that participate in their tree plantings. So join with me as I visit these tree planters, listen to their stories, visit their forests, and learn from their experiences. No doubt it will be a fantastic journey.
When I first got here, I remember the waves were firing, and I wanted to go for a surf to celebrate that, the fact that I got a job here and it's my home. The minute I stepped into the beach trail, I noticed how a wildlife refuge was so devastated. I felt heartbroken.
I absolutely love the beaches in Costa Rica. You're still under the shade of the trees. There's probably monkeys fooling around. Those are the beaches that I love. And many of them are not like that anymore. But we can change it. My name is Daniel Uribe, and I'm the Executive Director of Costa Verdes.
My name is Gerardo, and I'm Projects Director of Costa Verdes.
Costa Verdes started as a high school sweetheart love promise. Max loved to surf. He would go with his girlfriend Gala, but there was not a single tree on the beach. Basically, he promised to her that he would reforest that beach, and 12 years later, they actually got married and now have 2 kids. They still go surfing, and now they're the ones that are planting the trees for the next generations. Around the 50s, 60s, unfortunately, heavy deforestation began all over the country. What tends to happen is the invasion of exotic species, which actually make it very hard for the forest to recover on its own. The only way to speed that up, or for that to even happen, is to do induced restoration, which means we go in, we plant the necessary trees to kickstart the natural restoration process.
This is why Costa Verdes was born. Just a love story, but we actually have a need.
Right now, we're at a very special location. We are going to go to Costa Verdes Nursery and check out their plants. We're going to be loading plants today for their volunteer tree planting, one of my personal favorite things to do. So let's get started. Let's check it out. Oh, the mighty Sabo tree. I love this tree. Right here, this is a Sabo seedling. Gets its start very humbly, but in the end, it's going to be a mighty giant. Wow, look at them all. Very, very special. These are mangrove seedlings, and these are going to be potted up into bigger containers. All right, the truck is here. It's loading time. Oh, Madero Negro. Esto está bueno. This is a fantastic tree, very large, and it's also a nitrogen fixer. It's going to pull nitrogen out of the air into the leaves, down into the soil, helping out other plants and trees in the forest. All right, this is the Nansiti tree. It's a very large tree, and it's great for the monkeys because there's a fruit on this tree that the monkeys find delicious. So I'm very happy that we're planting these for the monkeys.
Buenos días.
Oh, buenos dias.
Buenos días, Rolo.
Visiting the nursery was so much fun, and every species they had was new to me. I got to learn about their unique functions, from stabilizing salty sand to trees that can grow 20 feet in just 1 year. They also got their soil in a unique way, harvesting it sustainably from river's edge where the silt piles up. Apparently, it contains beneficial nutrients and microorganisms that provide just about everything that the native trees need to grow and be healthy. The containers they use are typical of many reforestation efforts, called grow bags. They drain well, are easy to transport, and are very economical.
Vamos a hacer una campaña de reforestación de siembra de aproximadamente 800 árboles, en el cual va a venir mucha gente de la comunidad, van a venir voluntarios, turistas y escuelas locales.
Thank you. Last one. We're all packed in. Look at all these beautiful plants. How did I do? Oh, gracias, señor. Look at that.
For some reason, like for most of us, giving feels like exposing yourself and you're afraid of giving. So when you give, what you get back is so much greater than it can get addictive. And that's how we should evolve our culture. Letting people know that, you know, like there's something greater to live for, you know, and this is just a little bit that you can do that is just gonna make you feel so much better. Like planting a tree, seeing it grow, and then having your kids enjoy the shade and monkeys coming there. It's just gonna bring you so much pride later on.
This is great. So we're unloading the plants now, and we have the stakes and the plants, basically everything we need for the volunteer planting that's coming up. So I hear that this is one of your planting sites, is that right?
Yes, this is the Barrillones project, the second project that we started back in 2011.
This is a really interesting looking canopy. What are these trees right here?
We have a combination. Over there, those are frangipanis. This is a Ceibo barrigón, actually our most emblematic tree here. Beach almond tree, manzanillo tree. We have over 40 different species resistant to salinity, so they're the ones that can grow here. Any other tree you try to plant here will not make it.
What about the underbrush? Did you plant that as well?
No, that's the interesting thing. We didn't plant that. That's actually being able to grow in part because now we have this tree canopy, so the forest is in its natural succession.
So it's almost like on its own now, huh?
Yes, it's on its own. Before, it couldn't happen. This was invaded by grasses and exotic species. We couldn't even walk through these trails. No shade, no trees, and nothing of what is native could even grow or survive. So any seed that would fall there would never grow.
Wow. Did a great job. I like it.
I mean, thank you very much. It's super special for me and for Hera to know that these kids carried on with this.
And they see the results, the fruits of their labor. I love it. How many volunteers have you had out over the last 12 years?
Well, we get about 2,000 volunteers per year, but that number is growing and growing, which makes us very happy. Well, we've planted over 70,000 trees already in about 12 different beaches around Costa Rica.
So can any plant go anywhere, or is there a planting strategy?
Yeah, no, there's definitely a planting strategy. And here in the coastline, It's mostly based on the tolerance to salinity. So for example, these are mangrove trees.
Oh, mangrove.
This is the one that's the strongest. So we put it right in the front, and this will make a curtain for the salinity. This is the first line, the closest to the ocean. This is where you see the almond trees. These are super salt resistant, and they're also gonna give a beautiful shade. So people are gonna be able to enjoy it here. Once we go a little bit further back, these are gonna create.
One interesting strategy that Costas Verdes puts into use is to place different species in different spots along the beach, depending on each plant's needs and abilities. For instance, the salt-tolerant mangroves get planted closest to the beach, followed by rows of slightly taller shrubs and trees that are good soil stabilizers, and behind those, even taller shade-providing canopy trees.
Another thing while we're here that I want to explain, this beach is super important turtle nesting ground. Right where we are is where they come to lay their eggs. The turtle nests need shade. It's what determines the sex the turtles will be at. If there's no shade, all of them will be at direct sunlight.
Yeah.
And there'll just be one sex, which is not what we need. Obviously, you need a balance, right?
Yeah.
Probably the most important reason that we plant trees here is the nests can receive the proper shade, and the population is going to be balanced.
Wow. We plant trees for lots of reasons, but to plant trees for turtles, completely different from what we do. All right, this is the big day. Man, I have been waiting for this. It's amazing. I have to show you how they structure it for success. It's very unique, completely different from how we do it. Let's do this.
Bienvenidos de nuevo.
Buenos dias. Are you guys here to plant trees? Oh man, that's incredible. That's incredible. We're about 100 yards from the planting site, and I could still hear the ocean. Now, I wanted to bring you here because I have an example of what this is going to look like in just a few short years. Yeah, these trees grow extremely fast, and the invasive vine that is on the shoreline is going to be covered and then shaded out. It's going to be a really wonderful planting.
As species decline and the environment takes hits from multiple fronts worldwide, it's great to see the efforts of Costas Verdes bring back the vitality of ecosystems in a country like Costa Rica. Just a few short years ago, they had a huge decline in forested areas, including the small town of Nosora, sparking a national outcry for change. Now, Costa Rica is a leader in conservation, having a net gain in trees due to reduced logging and increased tree plantings. Costa Rica is also a frontrunner in becoming the first country to have a net zero carbon emissions. And I'm not surprised by this because of all the environmental enthusiasm I witnessed. Next, we head to Morocco to check out a tree planting nonprofit that plants trees along the edge of the Sahara Desert. And that will definitely be a unique experience.